Hey guys, this is Patrick. I am trying to create a Dr. K community in Melbourne for people in Melbourne to come together both online and in real life to form friendship and community and discuss mental health in the digital age. I'm making this video today because I'm wanted to discuss a topic I've been thinking about recently, and actually recently came up in our Discord about the Puer Aeternus. Um, turn this down a little bit. Um, and my struggles with uh, being a Puer. If you don't know what it means eternal child. I think there's a different name for a man or for a woman. But basically, like being an adult with like a young person's mind when it comes to uh, tackling tasks and whatnot. I think this is an archetype I fall into because I've had a repeating pattern in my life where I will get really interested in a topic. Um, I'll try to figure out like a unique or way to undermine the system, a way of approaching it that no one else has approached it before, and essentially sort of like in speed running, like there'll be like clips you do where you do this little glitch and you'll skip half the game. And I think I've always been someone to think I'm smart or a genius. That sounds very egotistical because it is, but um, that I'll be able to do this someday. And I'm currently 28 years old, working at a grocery store, um, and that's been actually a good thing for my ego, of seeing how I had all these expectations of, I'm failing. I'm doing not well at school, but that's because I'm not trying. And when I do try on something, um, I will, you know, beat the competition out of the water. Uh, and I wanted to bring this up in maybe I'll go through a few examples. One was I used to do breakdancing. Um, I tried to figure out a system to correlate every move to a sound or and I was going to try and categorize every sort of beat, every move, and like put together which moves go with which sounds. That's kind of cool idea, but I got really excited about it. I started making spreadsheets and whatnot and gave up, you know, after doing it for a little bit. Um, Also, I did breakdancing for a number of years, took it pretty seriously from, when I was like 17 years old to 21, but then just gave it up because I was like, oh, I'm not going to be a professional. Let's throw this out. And that had some pretty, part of the reason I'm 28 and working at a grocery store is because of that. Because, I had put a lot of time and effort into this. I was teaching at the time. I was doing shows. Um, you know, my teacher, breakdance teacher, was like helping me out, and I just sort of just left it um, without even because I thought I was whatever next thing I took on, I could just get to the top of it really quickly because I'd figure out a way to undermine it and get to the top. So that from 21 years old onwards, I did filmmaking, which when I was 24, that turned into animation, and I've been started learning to draw from not being able to draw from 24 years of age till now, and I'm still working on that. But sort of got a big reality soup from that. Um, and yeah, I think it, to in a weird way, it's been good to have that experience because it's really made me have to wrestle with my ego which I'm still wrestling with. I feel like I had a decent breakthrough with it with Dr. K's most recent vid, such as up is okay. His video on it's basically a video discussing how you keep yourself suffering and this idea of how we attach our ego to a future version of ourselves, future identity, that if we achieve that identity, everything else like we'll be okay. We'll feel good about ourselves finally, instead of like really bad about ourselves. And I've definitely do that quite a bit of, if I just had a, cool, stable, um, what would be the word? Uh, a job that would give me respect and that I'm passionate about. If I had a wife, if I had a family, um, I would feel good about myself and I would deserve to feel good about myself. Um, but because I don't have those things, I'm always feeling bad about myself. I'm always like, I'm 28, I should have had these things by now. Um, I'm a failure, whatnot. But like what he's saying, I'm not gonna be able to tell the video exactly the video how you keep yourself suffering. But what he talked about was um, what he talked about was having this future identity that if you feel like you achieve that, you're going to be good. It's just going to keep you unhappy until you get that identity. And even then, once you get the identity, and there's a part of my brain which is like doesn't agree with this, but he said even if you get the identity, it won't fix all your problems, and you can be happy now. And his thing was, focusing on the present, and I don't know, and focusing on the one thing ahead. Like, what's the one thing I can do today, right now, that will improve my life? And if I look at myself in the mirror and I see all these faults, like, what is one thing I can do to help relieve one of those things? And having patience with that and not having a time limit on that, like, I gotta be here by the time I'm 30 something or my life is over. And yeah, so like that one thing might be, I'm going to, buy some healthy food from the store and I'm going to cook it so I have healthy food, healthy curries or whatnot um, in my fridge to eat. Um, like today, like, looking for a girlfriend, so I was like, what's the next event I can go to? So, I'm going to salsa tomorrow evening. I'm like, okay, like I can't physically get a girlfriend. Like, he talks about that being an unachievable goal, but I can go to a salsa event and I can, talk to people, interact with people, and that's something I can do. And instead of it being an impossible task of getting a girlfriend that you have no control over, it's the possible task of, I'm going to go to this thing and I'm going to try my best to interact with people. And if it works out, that's good. And if it doesn't, I'm going to analyze it and move on from there. I think, yeah, a big Puer Aeternus thing that I've been thinking about a lot recently is, the Dr. K group that I created. And I definitely had the pattern again of put a lot of effort into it initially, um, sort of didn't see the results I wanted and lost a lot of interest, got really sad about it. Definitely was a lot of more ego than other things I've done because, it's you're sort of reaching out to people and, trying to get this community together. And, if people don't come to events and people don't interact with the community, you're like, feel bad about yourself. You're like, what am I doing that wrong that they don't care about this? I could probably go deeper in that, but I probably won't. But there was a lot of ego around that. I'll just keep it at that. and it got me really down, and I was like, I'm just gonna quit the group because you know I'm dumb and I'm a failure and I keep doing these things. But I think it was a good, especially with the Puer Aeternus video, um, to think about. Um, what did I think about with the to have this as one of the things I can stick at instead of quitting halfway through. And so I did that, and not quitting was just not um, closing the group. Uh, and it was also journaling about it. Um, and I went for a long hike to think about it. And yeah, I think I just came to the realization that I initially had this uh, goal, or maybe it's identity I was attached to, of like, I want this group to be like this giant thing where it could be a central hub for people to come for yoga, meditation, uh, teachings, coaching, maybe therapy or whatnot. Like I want this to build this, central place where people can go to improve their mental and spiritual health. And because that's something I would desire, I'd love for there to be like a really cool community space, um, where I could meet and interact with people and have lots of avenues that I can use to improve my spiritual and mental health. Um, and when I was doing the advertising, I was saying how much advertising costs and how, you know, not good at it I am because I haven't done it much, where it's like I'm spending $10 to get one person to join the Discord, and that one person usually will interact maybe a little bit and then forget about the Discord, and it's like, okay, so I'm going to need thousands of dollars to advertise this thing properly, and I don't have the time to do that. I tried to make a very long, detailed video, and I was like, about like a high quality video, and I was like, I don't have time to do that. Um, and, you know, don't have time to figure out how to advertise better on Instagram or whatever. And, that got me really down. Um, because I wanted to build this big, huge thing, and I was like failing at, the very start. And so I sort of paused the community, and I started to join the membership online community. So not the Melbourne community, but the online community. And I talked to people there. Um, and I asked, I did a post where I asked about like, how do you guys go about finding community? And this one person, I forgot the name, but she was talking about how she formed like a Japanese learning, Japanese language learning community, and how her whole goal was all about finding one new person, like just one extra person to, who's interested in learning Japanese and wants like a community to learn Japanese with. And she was able to get, I don't know, 5 to 10 people to come consistently to her Japanese learning things. And I think that was a way better frame for me to switch my mind into, and what made me feel much more positive about the uh, HGG Melbourne community was I just got to find that one extra person, and I got to, and not even find that one extra person, is like be appreciative of the people that are already there, like have Jai coming to a lot of the online meetings, and we have like really great discussions, and each one of those discussions is like a victory. And um and I think that's really positive, and it's like we get to delve into ideas around, what Dr. K talks about spirituality and mental health, and we have to get a deeper understanding, and that's a good friendship. So I thought like investing more in that, like if someone comments in the Discord, like that's a victory. Like, um, and seeing it from that lens has made me a lot more positive on it. And I think instead of like investing all my time into this group, thinking that it's going to be the way I'm going to find all my friendships and fulfill all my needs, I'm going to try spread it out a lot more. You know, I got my yoga community in Belgrave, which I haven't been to in a while because saving money. There's also like some really cool Buddhist temples around me, like start going there. So that's yoga, that's meditation. I have the Dr. K group where there's a few people in there like I talk to, and I got salsa and been doing bouldering, run clubs, um, been trying lots of different stuff out, and although it won't all can't all come together in one central group, um, and won't be this big huge thing, at least not now, or maybe not made by me. Um, it's still a victory, and just meeting that one new person or interacting with that same person again um, to discuss deep ideas is like a very positive thing. Um, so yeah, so thanks if you've watched this video. Thank you for watching this video. This is very rambly. I'm building this skill up of talking to a camera and expressing ideas and whatnot. So it's going to take me quite a bit before I get good at it. So if you've managed to come this far, that's thank you so much. Um, and I'm going to try to make these videos more to maybe inspire more discussion within the HGG Melbourne community, um, and get people to understand sort of the ideas I'm having around it. And I'm going to try not uploading every day, but making one of these every day, just so I get used to talking to a camera and consolidating ideas. So yeah, thank you.